Breaking news. Marco Rubio has announced he will not be a candidate for the Miami Dolphins head coaching job. He's got to focus on other things, and he has enough jobs.
I was going to say, what's one more job?
This one you got to pay a lot of attention to because the Dolphins are, well, I mean, look what they did to Hootie.
What'd they do to Hootie?
They always broke his heart.
Oh.
I only want to be with you. I'm such a baby, even the Dolphins make me cry.
I wish I could have a dolphin. I like dolphins.
Would you guys chill? We got to get the capybara and the porcupine first.
Yeah, can't wait.
Yeah, especially a capybara.
Oh, yeah, capybara. Capybara, 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 capybara.
I followed this lady on Instagram. She's got a group of capybaras that come to her back door every day.
I see. That lady is hilarious. And she's always got to tell them, stop eating the couch. Stop eating the couch.
Oh, one of them immediately goes to her couch to find her favorite place on it.
Yep. And they are...
And her dogs don't mind them.
No, they don't. They just think they're just giant. All they are is giant guinea pigs. That's it. They're just, hey, you have a guinea pig? Yeah. Well, would you like a 150-pound guinea pig? Here's one. In Japan, they have a capybara cafe. There's supposed to be, I think there's one in Florida, too. We should go, man. Oh, we should go. How fun would that be? He's talking about all this hell going on here.
They may be the chillest animal out there.
Yeah,
man.
They're the animal. Have you ever seen them, too, when they'll get on top of a crocodile and they'll just float across the thing?
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for the ride.
Just hitching a ride. Thanks, man.
Appreciate that. And he's like, I was going to eat you, but you know what? You're all right.
You're all right.
You're okay. We could do this again sometime. You're okay. Oh, man. You know what I'm happy about tonight, Ken? There is football on tonight.
Football. Oh, yeah, we got a college football.
Ole Miss
carrying the banner for the SEC.
taking on Miami.
Whew, Miami's got a violent defense. Violent defense.
That is a violent. I love what Deion Sanders said when they were asking him how he recruits. He goes, on the lines, I recruit, the offensive side, especially. He goes, I recruit really, really smart guys.
Yep.
Good guys who are good, guys who are doing their homework. They're showing up. They love God. He goes, on the defense, I recruit people who want to build a house for mama. And I'm like, I get that. Somebody who's pissed and angry, and he's doing this because mom needs a house because dad skipped out.
Violence.
Violence.
He wants a violent defensive line.
There's a capybara place in Helena, Georgia.
Oh, wow.
Well, how about apples that are those apples? Capybaras are the best. Capybara. J.D. Vance said the ICE agent has protected by absolute immunity. So, I think you go through. I mean, look, I said yesterday, this guy could have dragged her out of the car and shot her right there. And they're probably going to say the same thing at this point because this has become politics, unfortunately, of what it is. We have wrapped ourselves in emotion and echo chambers and put ourselves in positions where we are so divided, it is ridiculous. It is. And, I mean, you got to see the text messages that we get. It's like, she deserved this, she did that, justice was done, and I'm thinking to myself, two things can be right in this situation. You had a woman who panicked. She's an agitator. Well, why did she try to tell them to pass her then? Did you guys see that? When she's waving, go by, you guys can go by. You hear one guy that's getting out of the car, one of the police going, hey, move along. And then you hear the other guy get out, don't move, hands up. And you're like, oh. So get out of the blanket car. So, but this was always going to end this way. I said it yesterday. I mean, before there was anything known, they had come out and said she was a domestic terrorist. How do you know she's a domestic? Did you guys, have we confirmed that, Ken? Anybody that she's a domestic terrorist?
We don't need to confirm it. It was on the internet.
She in a group? She in the Antifa?
Mom Tifa.
Mom Tifa. Do you get jumped into that group like you do with gangs?
I don't know. Probably.
Or do you just have to show up at a coffee shop that serves wheat juice? Hey Ken, I was telling you were talking about wearing your big clock around your neck, like Flava Flav.
Flava Flav.
I said, I was telling Bell, I hit Flava Flav with my car in Phoenix.
Lucky he didn't shoot you.
Yeah, if he was DHS, I was done. It was during Super Bowl week. You know what I was surprised? So we were doing all this. We were on the floor during Super Bowl week at the media thing, and I was coming out of the garage, and he came out of nowhere, and just like kind of that cop yesterday, I was going forward and looking one way, and out of nowhere as I come out of this garage, I kind of like hit him in the hip, and he jumps back and he's like, "Wow," and he starts laughing. I'm like, "Sorry, man." I'm all, "Sorry, Flav." He's like, "That's all right." He kept going. You know what was weird, though? The whole time we saw him down there, I expected him to be always with an entourage. He was always by himself.
Interesting.
I found that to be very interesting. He's just a little guy. It's not actually a big clock. It's just a wristwatch. He's just very tiny.
He's just a little fella.
Just a little fella.
He's been through a bankruptcy, so he'll probably learn the hard way that paying all those hangers on wasn't worth it.
Yeah, well, there was that. Thank goodness, though, he didn't shoot me. I'm sorry, Flav. I'm always amazed when you go to those places who people get excited to see. More people were excited to see Flav than I think Trevor Lawrence was there, and this was like his rookie year or whatever. More people were excited to see Flavor and a bunch of these other NFL stars. And the two biggest booths that were there were Pat McAfee, and we were behind TikTok. The TikTok booth was the packed booth. And I would, because we had our young interns, I'm like, "Who's that person?" And they're like, "Oh, that's Jimmy the Juggler." What's he do? He juggles slime, and that's it. He's got 48 million followers. And then you get all these other stars to come over and take pictures with these kids. It was a trip. Minneapolis, it feels like it's a little bit on edge. So I don't know. Again, do I think this was a bad situation yesterday? Yes. Do I think it was a tragic situation? 100%. Do I think it became political and everybody online wanted to win points and prove to the tribe how awesome they were before anything came out? You didn't need to know. You didn't. You didn't need to know anything other than a woman was shot by DHS in a car. And that's all you know. The left was always going to say it was murder. And the right, it was justified. Absolutely had to be done. 100%. Justification. And that's it. Nothing else was going to change it. And if you believe it was justified, nothing's going to change your mind for most people. And if you believe that, that it was murder and you found out that she had a bomb on her and a gun and they did what they were supposed to do at the right time, then guess what? You're still not going to change your mind because the echo chambers were too loud. And then we start living in a world of identity. I love this. This right here, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this guy. This George Carlin fellow. He seemed to be kind of a seesayer of the future in his comedy.
When your identity is your ideology, congratulations, you've officially screwed yourself because now it's not just an idea, now it's you. And when the idea gets challenged, you don't hear disagreement, you hear an attack. So what do? You build a bubble. A nice, soft, padded little bubble where everyone agrees with you, uses the same words, hates the same people, and claps at the exact right moments. And you will defend that bubble at all costs, even if it makes you sound incredibly stupid. Facts don't matter anymore. Logic's gone. Humor? Dead. Because admitting you're wrong would mean admitting you are wrong, and that's unacceptable. So you double down. Louder, angrier, dumber. And that's how you end up defending nonsense like it's sacred scripture, not because it's true, but because without it, you'd have to actually develop a personality.
That's pretty smart fellow.
It's pretty heavy for that long ago.
Yeah. And there's lots of those things out there from people when you think about it. You know, the fact that we don't critically think anymore, the fact that we want to jump to conclusions. And you know, a lot of you get mad at me, pissed off. Oh, you're a leftist? No. Oh, you know, somebody called me a racist earlier. I'm like, what are we even talking about? Because you have in your mind, this is what it is. It is true. And this is as far as I want to go in knowing what went on. If we're going to dive deep into it, I want to know everything. I want to know exactly everything. I want the body cameras. There was that guy that was shot, or was it a gal? It was a gal that was shot, several times in Chicago. Remember DHS and the ICE and everybody? Oh, she had a gun. She had all these things. And it was, oh, yeah, they charged her with all that stuff. Then they dropped charges because the body camera footage showed she had no gun. She had none of the things that they said they did. That's why, you know. But if you went online, the same people that are saying all these things are saying, look at this, oh, my God. People, we got to critically think more. If we were a species, critical thinkers, we would be endangered. We would be. And that's why I tell everybody all the time, go challenge your belief systems. It's like the best thing to do, right? It's iron sharpens iron. Because the more that you challenge, the more that you think, okay, maybe I just want to see all angles of this. Then the more that you start to realize, oh, maybe I'm not 100% right. I mean, I said yesterday I didn't know anything about what happened. We really don't know much more than what we've seen. And like Bell said, too, where's the footage from all the houses on that side? Because you know there's a bunch of Ring doorbells out there because they only cost like 50 cents to get. So we're going to get some other footage we haven't seen, and we're going to get footage from the officers, and they'll find out more about her. I'm surprised we don't know more about this lady. By now, you know, I mean, you would have figured that she, you know, everything in her life would have been exposed. But to this point, no, I mean, not, you know, I mean, I've seen some stuff, but you could tell that it's not real. It's meant, you know, it's meant to stir anger more than it is to actually have a conversation or say, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't. Just like the guy that shot. He was dragged, 100 yards by somebody in a car several months ago. So he understands. So there's a lot more to it, but we shouldn't be celebrating a human being dying because you want to win the internet. I've never understood that. I have yet to win the internet. Do you get it for a day? How does that work? Do you take it home with you? I feel like it's going to cost a lot of money to keep. That's what I think. All right, coming up. A lot more interesting things to get to. Right, we can't just talk about this all day. Want to hear more about Iran? Whew. Nothing's coming in. Nothing's coming out. They've shut the whole thing down. They've closed it up. They're ready to file for bankruptcy. Chapter 11. They got all that oil. They got tons of oil in there, but they've got tons of young people who don't want to live under insane moral laws by old people. And that's about to change, I think, sooner rather than later. Plus, they're thirsty because they don't have any water. That's also an issue as well. Talk about that, among other things, straight ahead. Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7. You let me know when there's a frog task force and we're on it.
Especially if we can fry their legs.
I saw somebody frying a frog that I thought, that's got to be AI. It was a giant bullfrog, like an African bullfrog. It was like 40 pounds. It's massive.
That's a lot of meat.
I don't eat frog. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. Yesterday we fixed we turned the whole thing upside down. The frown. No. The pyramid of food. And guess what? I don't eat much of what's on there. No matter which way you put it, I don't eat a lot of it.
I eat all of it.
I mean, it's been almost like 30 years, though, since they said that the food pyramid was wrong, and they finally got around to changing it.
Well, it's government right there.
Yeah.
Government they knew it was, it's like the same thing with marijuana. They've known for years it doesn't do anything. It's not deadly, right? None of that. They've known that forever and a day, but they didn't change it. They just let it be. I mean, and had there not been for a lot of his, some of the stuff that he thinks, he's got some wacky ideas because of the worm in his head and the bear thing. And the fact that he apparently
the worm caused the bear, so I don't know if you can.
And apparently, if you're a good-looking reporter, you go to do an interview with him. There's a chance you may fall in love. That was a crazy story. Chad. A lot of you guys like that George Carlin stuff. And it's funny. Remember he used to talk about not voting. He said, I don't vote. First of all, I don't go outside that day, and I don't vote. And everybody's like, oh, he goes, because I don't want to be blamed for it. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. She goes, it's not worth it. America's been bought and paid for a gazillion times. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, there's something to that. And he goes, and when somebody votes for something you don't like, what do they always say? Well, you should have went out and voted. You can't complain. No, you voted for something, and it didn't go well, so I am going to complain because this is your fault. Obviously, it was a joke.
This is what you voted for.
This is it. We got several of those yesterday and today. Yeah, about the Minnesota things. This is what I voted for. Like, really? You voted to have somebody gunned down? No, I don't think so. I would hope not, but I'm sure maybe some of you, yeah, this is it. But at the end of the day, this has very little effect on any of us. What's the employment situation like? What's the economy getting ready to do? We're going to start getting I don't even know what kind of numbers. Can we even trust any of these numbers that are coming out? Yeah, well, and I hear, and again, and it's funny because the difference in if you're in your 60s and 70s and drawing on your retirement and you've got a home you've owned for 10 years outright, the economy's great for you. If you're 30 and you got a wife, but you guys can't have kids and you live with your mom, it's not great for you. And that's the future. And, we have this weird, bizarre world where it's that K. They always talk about that K-shaped. And the way that we spend money. They did a big study that came out about how so they put side by side American products and Amazon, Chinese-made products. They put them side by side inside of the Amazon store and everything. You'll never guess what happened. We as Americans, no matter how cheap it was, as long as it was cheaper than the other thing, we didn't spend more for the American-made or the more expensive. We picked by price. If price isn't an object, you're not shopping there, right? If price is an object, you're going to, if you are and many of you guys out there probably know, if you're somebody who has to go give a bid, do you want to be the first one in or the last one in? Probably want to be the last one in. Well, why? So you can compete with the price, undercut if you have to. And yeah, there are some things in life. Everybody's got that one or two things that they have that I'm not going to skimp on this. But for most things, especially day-to-day goods, we're always going to go with a cheaper price. Those things affect us. Mortgage rates, the cost of cars. I can't even right now. There was another study out. It's going to be over $800 this year on average. It was $750 last year. That's for a car. That's just for the payment for the car. That is not for insurance, and the maintenance and the upkeep. That right there is, and some of these people, I'm amazed that they buy these trucks. You ever see? There's that financial guy. Was it Caleb Hammer? Have you seen him? He looks a lot like Mason, and he brings people on looks about Mason's age too, and he talks about finances and the amount of people who have cars who have payments that are like $1,500, $1,300. I mean, that is crazy. I got a car payment. I hate it.
Me too.
You have a car payment?
Got one car payment.
Mine's gone in 7 months.
You're counting it down.
Yes, sir.
How long is your car payment?
We've got, I think, 2 more years.
Man, It's, I hate my wife because I'll tell you guys this. I was driving around in my Saturn. It was a stick. It was a SUV. We called her Black Betty because she looked like she had bangs like Betty Page. Oh, I love that thing. I did. And my wife's like, you got to have something better. And you don't want to be stuck in traffic all the time. And I'm like, but I love not having a payment.
Yeah, it's great.
It's freeing. It's like, oh.
I remember when we were paying for 3 cars at one time. Oh, I loved it. I wish I could go back.
No.
It's terrible. Terrible, I tell you.
That's, you know what? That makes me feel bad.
Yeah, it was awful.
So, all right, coming up, now that he's upset us, talk a little bit about Venezuela. I don't know what we're doing there. Apparently, we're going to be there for a long time, and I'm going to tell you about a text message I got from Bell last night. It's going to make you laugh. This is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. I got called a hippie, so I just want to let you guys know that.
Your hair's too short.
Yeah, I thought you did have to have long hair. And
you have to stink.
Yeah, I don't do patchouli either. I don't. No, you can't. I can't. You got to stink. You're right.
Yeah, true hippies, they didn't believe in hygiene.
No, because they were always outside, and they also wore those cutoff shirts, right? So their arms could be free, and they had the bag that would go over them, no matter who it is. And you know what else I don't do? I don't play hacky sack. Right? I don't play hacky sack. No hacky sack. So we're going to be in Venezuela forever. So there's that. Bell sends me something yesterday. It says $1.7 trillion. Doesn't this idiot know we're in debt?
No, it's...
That's a lot, man. That's way too much money.
You're talking about Trump's
new
desire to increase the budget for the Defense Department.
For the Defense Department.
To $1.7 trillion.
No.
Which is almost doubling it.
Yeah. We already spend the most. And here's the thing.
We spend more than the next 10 countries combined.
Combined. And just to give you guys an idea, I just want you guys to understand, here's a little something many of you... Remember the 12-day war against Iran? You know how long it was supposed to last? 35 days. You know who cut it short? We did. Why? Because we were running out of stuff. We're down to our last 25% of the THAAD missiles. We were running out of stuff. The plans were for 35 days, but we had gotten to the point because of all the stuff we've been doing, we've depleted everything. And do we need to bring it back? Yes. Do we need to? But we also have to spend smarter. You want to talk about...
That's the problem with the Pentagon is they've never been underfunded, ever.
Yeah.
They just want all of the toys, and they want all of them now.
And Lindsey Graham's going to be out there just going, oh, my heavens, because that's, I figure he does. Do you know what? Lindsey Graham he reminds me of somebody that gets the vapors.
Remember the first time I ever heard that was on Little House on the Prairie.
He's got the vapors. I feel like, he's like an old Southern lawyer wearing the blue suit with the hat. Well, I declare, sipper. But as we talk about this, the amount of money we could sit there and we're now going to have a special attorney general to look into fraud. Okay, good. Let's do that. Let's also start at the Pentagon. When's the last time that they had an audit, let alone passed one?
At this point, I want to say 20 years.
Yeah. Think about that for a second. Unlimited budget. Some of them just say stuff with $50 billion. Like DARPA. I'm good with that because DARPA's like, they're 4 or 5 generations ahead. But when it comes to the other stuff, the amount of money wasted in our government is tremendous. It is. Yeah, what happened with the the Somali daycare and all this crap, which, by the way, they've been investigating before even Trump got in there, and people were already prosecuted. That was under Merrick Garland it started. But what happened there is bad. Go look everywhere else. The amount of money that is wasted is tremendous. Government is a giant piggy bank for these people.
And it's your money in the bank.
Yeah. Except you don't get to access it. Who was the guy in Alaska that tried to build that giant bridge to nowhere, right? Like, remember that?
No, I remember the kids in South Park trying to build the ladder to heaven.
Oh, that was a great episode. It was a great episode. But the amount of ridiculous, there are so many giant, huge waste of money because we signed these we signed these contracts with these companies, especially these weapons companies or whatever, and they produce something. That stuff then becomes obsolete. But you know what? We got a contract. And it was a no-bid contract, too. Those are great. We talk about cost.
We love the word competition.
Yeah.
Until it's time to give out contracts.
Yeah, we love that. The seersucker suit. Thank you very much for that. Yes, Lindsey Graham. Thank you, Ronald. Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. He feels like somebody that's dead, definitely. But the cost, we were just talking about how Americans will choose the cheaper item over the American-made item that's more expensive, regardless if it's $1 or $5 or $10, because it's not us. We'll give you a no-bid. I want a no-bid contract. How would that be? What do you guys know what that is? Just give me your price. It's fine. Just, there you go. I'm cool with that. Just give me your price. And we're talking about buying. There's the other thing, too. We're going to buy Greenland. That's okay, well, how do you factor in what I asked ChatGPT, I asked Claude, Gemini, what it would cost to buy Greenland. So they estimate that it's about $1 trillion to $2 trillion just for the stuff underneath the ground, the rare earth minerals, the potential for the oils offshore that's untapped, and the fresh water. That's something that isn't mentioned. The massive freshwater ice reserve that's there. That doesn't even include everything else. So they're looking at probably $4 trillion. Where are we getting this? How do you cut taxes and raise spending? We all want lower taxes, but not to the detriment of the future of America. But they spend all of this money. There are warehouses full of obsolete equipment, but they got to roll them off because there's a contract. Here's another one. Here's another one. It's insane. My buddy, they are trying to win a contract right now with the Defense Department. It has nothing to do with actual defense. It has to do with the like all those big, the Humvees and all those things. They sit out. All of these things sit out forever, and they get ruined because they're not being used. And they buy more and more of them because they have to. And so these transportation things. And so they have to go and fix them when they're going to use some of them because sometimes they'll sit out there for years. And what happens? Well, the sun warp stuff, this, that, and the other. So they have this new thing that fixes it, and it costs virtually nothing to fix all the glass and do all this kind of stuff for it. The problem is the other company has a contract. They charge $600,000 to fix the thing. It's like $1 million to build a new one. And theirs is like $2,500. It's who you know. I mean, you want to talk about insane. And now we're talking about being in Venezuela for eternity. Because what don't we do? We don't stick the landing. We may fall down and live there, but we don't stick that landing.
Well, I give them credit in this attempt. We're not even trying to stick the landing.
Yeah, no, we weren't. So, yeah, that's right. Senator Ted Stevens, look that up, Bill. Ted Stevens, senator from Alaska. He got so much money to build a bridge to nobody lives out there. We're going to just build this bridge, and it's going to go in an area that you don't even need anything because it's not connected to anything.
So was that an earmark he had shoved into the bill?
Yes. I mean, it's insane. And he was one of those super powerful guys that was out there. You just type in Ted Stevens, up pops Bridge to Nowhere, the Gravian Island Bridge. Talk about pork. It's a bridge to nowhere. $398 million. Why? There's 50 residents that may use it. But it's money, bringing it back to the home state. We're doing this. It's insane.
Look what I got for you. You need to vote for me again. I'll go get some more.
Yeah. But who do you bet? And this is how it works, guys. And this is why politics is so greasy and grimy. Well, who do you think probably is on some of the boards of some of these companies that are going to be awarded stuff? Maybe his brother-in-law, right, who happens to be a construction guy. Maybe his sister-in-law. Maybe and next thing you know, it's just all insane. They're just, that's what's frustrating. So, yeah, let's do it. Let's get an actual fraud department, and not just go after the blue states. Let's go after waste across the board. And let's start in the Pentagon.
Well, that's the problem, though, is one person's waste is another person's appropriations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, Canyon County, says Vicky, has a bridge to nowhere. There you go. You know what? Mario said, why not get an economic deal done with Denmark and Greenland? That's a possibility, but we're going to be paying them. So at some point for something. And we already have I think we have an Air Force base out there. Because everybody's all, well, what about China? China's not going there.
I read a statistic, I think it was 2 days ago, that there was 193 what are considered sovereign nations on the planet, and we give money to 177 of them.
Yes. Here's something for you guys. Want to talk about Somalia? Here's something you guys probably don't know. Guess who's bombed Somalia more than anybody else? Donald Trump. He broke his record. And we give them money for other things. That's who we are. We will simultaneously blow up a building and then hand them money to rebuild, and then we'll bring in Halliburton to do it. The three companies that are already starting to bid and do stuff in Venezuela, trying to get stuff out there, who do you think it is? It's the people you think it is. It is. I'm telling you guys, we're putting together a nonprofit. We're going to do it after work today. We'll ask Ken. Ken, what kind of nonprofit do you want? Do you want to do... We got to do something government. Should we run a preschool?
One that slides me money under the table and I never get caught.
Okay, well, that's fine. Do you want to do a preschool?
The Leering Center.
The Leering Center? The Rock Center. Rock and roll! What do you teach the kids? Rock and roll! We'll talk about lawsuits coming up, because it's funny, the lawsuit. I read the lawsuit about the McRib. You guys will enjoy this. We'll do that, among other things, straight ahead. Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7. Time to talk lawsuits. First, the McRib.
'Tis the season of tangy barbecue sauce.
Some people wait all year for this. The return of the McRib at McDonald's. But some customers say this sandwich is a lie, not containing actual pork rib meat, according to a class action lawsuit filed in federal court in Illinois. According to McDonald's website, the McRib, quote, starts with seasoned boneless pork dipped in a tangy barbecue sauce. While its website doesn't specifically mention pork rib meat, the plaintiffs allege the name and marketing of the product misled them to believe they were getting premium cuts of pork, citing rib prices being higher than other cuts.
You're an idiot if you think that. Let's just be honest. Their mascot is a clown that scares Pennywise. And right? They've got a purple thing that's a taste bud. They got a Hamburglar. And you think that you were going to get a prime choice cut of rib
Doesn't matter, Chad. Their coffee needs to be cooler, and I need a prime rib.
Here's the coffee thing. There's a perfect example. Do you know why they got sued? Everybody said that lady was an idiot. That thing was like 300 degrees. It had been the 5th time they'd been warned. It wasn't the first time they had burned somebody or it had burned through things. But we just thought, they spilled, somebody spilled something on themselves. No, it burned through the cup. It could have just been the coffee, too, because coffee's not good for you. Unlike me, who drinks nothing but Red Bull. Tastes nice. I don't drink that much Red Bull. But I probably still drink too much of it. But the McRib, come on, guys. Stop that. Stop that. The other lawsuit that's interesting. Now, we said today our show is going to be very sexy, okay, because we're a very sexy group. As you guys see Ken's picture, he's sexy. Take our word for it. Belle, so sexy. Eludes sexy. Just, Beltanica.
The definition of sexy.
Of sexy, all right? If you were to take, little bit of Mutt Lang with some Fonzie, right? Throw in some Lemmy. Cousin It. You got him. That's him right there. Okay.
Definitely Lemmy. Matt
Khalil is a football player. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but his wife was on a podcast, his ex-wife. And she was talking about what a wonderful human being is, how great he is, how much she loved him, but there was issues in the marriage. The issue in the marriage that he's suing her for now is what she said, which was the reason they divorced was the sex. Because, as she put it, he's about 3 Coke cans. And it wasn't fun, and she didn't want him to touch him anymore. And since then, he likes to lay low, wants nothing to do with anything, just going to be one of those guys like a hermit. He's been bombarded nonstop. And he says it's embarrassing, and people are coming out of the woodwork, and so he's suing her.
Why would she do that?
Because that's what people do nowadays. You got to go on to podcasts, and you have to air your dirty laundry and talk about everything.
Yeah.
And you did it to somebody that you supposedly care about.
Yeah.
And, and she's like apologized, but now they're going back and forth at each other. And it's still, like you said, I just wanted to be left alone. Well, too late now, because now it's out there. And once it's on the internet, kids, it never goes away. You know that. All right, coming up, hour number 3 of the program. A lot of stuff to still get to. We didn't even talk about, the robots for Bell, his Bell bots. It's going to be cool. We're going to give a little Bell bot. Hello there, Bell. My name is Linda, and I love you. You got to give him a cool name, too. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll probably talk a little bit more about what J.D. Vance said of the shooting in Minneapolis and the fraud. We're going after fraud, boys. That's hour number 3. Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7.